Apple has just unveiled the brand new M4 MacBook Air, and it's already creating a lot of buzz. The MacBook Air has been one of Apple's best-selling laptops, known for its sleek design, lightweight build, and powerful performance. But with this latest upgrade, is it actually worth buying, or should you save your money? In this in-depth review, we'll break down the biggest upgrades, pricing, performance, and whether you should go for it or consider other options. M4 MacBook Air, what's new? Apple is marketing the new MacBook Air with the tagline "Speed of Lightness," and while that sounds great, let's talk about what's actually changed. Keycap 1 M4 chip, a game changer? The biggest highlight is the M4 chip, which Apple claims is up to 2 times faster than the M1 MacBook Air. While this is a nice jump in performance, the reality is that most users with an M1 or even M2 MacBook Air probably won't notice a huge difference in everyday tasks like web browsing, document editing, or media consumption. But if you're upgrading from an Intel-based MacBook Air, the performance gains are massive. Apple says it's up to 13x faster. That's a huge jump, but let's be real. Who's still using an Intel MacBook Air in 2025? Keycap 2 battery life, the same great endurance. Apple promises up to 18 hours of battery life, which is already one of the strongest points of the MacBook Air lineup. The real-world battery life will depend on your usage. But if past models are anything to go by, you can expect all-day battery performance with no issues. Keycap 3 new sky blue color. A new sky blue finish has been introduced, replacing the midnight color option from last year. It looks fresh, but for those who loved space gray, this might be a bit disappointing. Keycap 4 no major design changes. Apple has kept the same thin, fanless design as the M2 and M3 MacBook Air models. If you were expecting a radical redesign, you won't find it here. It still looks super sleek and modern, but Apple is clearly sticking to what works. Keycap 5 Apple Intelligence, is it worth it? Apple Intelligence, AI, features are coming to macOS, but let's be honest, most people won't use them enough to justify an upgrade. If you're expecting crazy AI capabilities, don't hold your breath. This is not a reason to buy the M4 MacBook Air. MacBook Air M4. Pricing and configurations. The base model of the M4 MacBook Air starts at $999, making it one of the most affordable Macs with Apple's latest chip. But let's talk about whether that base model is actually worth it. Base model. Is 256 gigabytes storage enough? The base $999 model comes with 8 gigabytes RAM and 256 gigabytes SSD. But 256 gigabytes is not enough in 2025, especially if you plan to store a lot of files, photos, or videos. If you're a student or casual user, you might get by with 256 gigabytes and an external SSD. But for most people, 512 gigabytes should be the minimum. Best value configuration. For most people, the best configuration would be white heavy checkmark M4 chip, 10-core GPU. White heavy checkmark 16 gigabytes RAM, future-proofing. White heavy checkmark 512 gigabytes SSD. This setup costs around $1,399. And it's the best balance between price and performance. MacBook Air versus MacBook Pro, which one should you buy? At this price point, you might start wondering, should I just get a MacBook Pro instead? Let's compare. MacBook Air M4, 15-inch upgraded, $1,599. Small Blue Diamond, 10-core GPU. Small Blue Diamond, 16 gigabytes RAM. Small Blue Diamond 1 terabyte SSD. Small Blue Diamond fanless design silent. Small Blue Diamond lighter and thinner. MacBook Pro M3 14-inch base model $1,799. Small Blue Diamond 8-core GPU. Slower than Air M4 in some cases. Small Blue Diamond 18 gigabytes RAM. Better for multitasking. Small Blue Diamond 512 gigabytes SSD, but expandable. Small Blue Diamond active cooling, better for long workloads. Small Blue Diamond has extra ports, HDMI, SD card slot, MagSafe. So which one is better? Small Blue Diamond if you just want a reliable, powerful, and lightweight laptop. Get the MacBook Air M4. Small Blue Diamond if you need extra ports, slightly better performance under load, and more RAM. Get the MacBook Pro M3. Light bulb pro tip. If you're a student or someone who doesn't need crazy performance, the MacBook Air is a smarter buy. You'll save $200 to $400 and still get all-day battery life and solid performance. Who should buy the M4 MacBook Air? White heavy checkmark students and casual users. Perfect for web browsing, note-taking, streaming, and light creative work. White heavy checkmark writers and office workers. If you mostly type, email, and manage spreadsheets, this is a great lightweight option. White heavy checkmark basic video editors and designers. If you do light 1080p or occasional 4K editing, it's powerful enough. White heavy checkmark anyone who wants a long-lasting laptop. Apple laptops easily last 5+ years, making them a good investment. Who should skip the M4 MacBook Air? Crossmark M3 or M2 MacBook Air owners. The upgrade isn't worth it unless you need extra performance. Crossmark heavy video editors and gamers. Get a MacBook Pro instead. The Air will throttle under heavy loads. Crossmark people who need ports. No HDMI, no SD card slot equals dongle life. If that bothers you, go for the Pro. Final verdict, should you buy it? The M4 MacBook Air is an excellent laptop, but only if you're upgrading from an Intel Mac or an older M1 model. If you have an M2 or M3 MacBook Air, you should skip this one. The performance gains aren't significant enough. Money bag best value configuration. Shopping cart 16 GB RAM plus 512 GB SSD, $1,399. Rocket great for students, writers, and everyday users. Crossmark not ideal for professionals who need high-end performance. If you're planning to buy it, sky blue looks fantastic, but space gray is still a classic. Backhand index pointing right, would you buy the M4 MacBook Air? Or are you waiting for the next big upgrade? Let us know in the comments below.